Hey, Matt here from Tucker BBQs. Today we're going to go through constructing the cabinet trolley for the GTS series barbecues. So before we start, we unpack all the contents of the boxes, take off all the protective wrapping, and grab your 3 tools that you need. Okay, we need a 17mm ring spanner, a 10mm ring spanner, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Once you have all those, we're ready to go. Okay, first of all, we need the base plate of the barbecue. You flip it upside down so we can screw the wheels into these 4 holes here. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. Okay, remember with the wheels here, it's got the thread here. Make sure you don't cross thread it because it's gonna be awfully hard to correct and you'll have to get it remachined, and we don't want to break your new barbecue. So straighten it up here and then screw these in. Remember, do not over tighten these. Okay, we'll come around and tighten them later. So you continue this with the other 3 wheels, okay? And remembering, making sure that you're keeping this straight. Okay, we have the wheels on now, so we're going to flip it over and attach the first side panel. Okay, next we go to the first side panel. On the left side here, it's got the double hose holes here. They go to the front, towards the front. If you're trying to work out how the front is, just look for the 2 magnets down here on the base plate, okay? That's your front. So for this first side panel, you just drop your 3 bolts into there, okay? Then underneath, we've got these little lock nuts that we start to screw on. Don't tighten them up because they lock in. Once they lock in, they're really, really hard to undo. So you just tighten these bolts up here. And just a little FYI, it's easier just to flip this on the side to put on the side panels, and remember to use the shorter bolts with the lock nuts. Okay, now we have the other side panel. So you just line it up here, lining up the 3 holes there for the base, just like what we did to the other one. Just lining it up so you can just drop the bolts and the nuts in on the other side. So just as we did on the other side, just finger tighten the nuts up, okay? So we can get the 3 of them in, and then we can go along and tighten them after we've already got them in. So you just tighten up the bolts there, as we were doing before, down to the last one here. Okay, so here we have the rear plate. Just remember, the hose hole here has to be up in the top left. In total, there's 9 holes you need to line up on that back panel to actually bolt on. Okay, so just line them up flat and then start bolting them in. So get your 10mm ring spanner, just on the nut there, just with a bolt with your screwdriver, just like again, as we put on the side panels, just gently bolt them up so we can line them all up and then tighten afterwards. So here we are, just continuing around with the bolts and just finger tightening them, getting them all in place, and then we'll come back around and tighten them fully just for this trolley here. So this is the middle panel. It should go on top exactly like this. Okay, so that hole here for the gas tap has to be at the front left. You'll see 5 holes. There's 3 down the bottom and 2 on each end up the top. So they have to line up into the top of the cabinet here. So you can start with putting the nuts onto the bottom 3 holes here. Just get them tight as much as you can, and then we'll come back and fully tighten them. Because what we're going to do is going to flip it up onto the wheels to complete the last 2 holes on this shelf. Just remember, when you add this shelf here for the barbecue, you need to add this back panel at the same, because it uses the same screws to attach to the larger back panel below the cabinet. Okay, so now we've got them all sort of in place, we can go along and now tighten them all up, just so they're nice and stable. Just using your Phillips head screwdriver and your 10mm spanner underneath, it makes it a whole lot easier to do. So now that we've done the horizontal bolts, you need to do the vertical bolts. There's just 2 on each side, so just the same as what we did before. Just finger tighten them to start with, just to have them in place, and then come back and then tighten them fully. So now we have the top of the door hinge. This is what we have to put on next. 2 holes either side, line them up just here, just above the barbecue shelf. And then again, you put your bolts in and then the nuts from the inside, okay? Just keeping them straight, and remember, the magnetic shut closer has to be towards the front of the cabinet. There is a way with this top pin here at the door. If you put this in a bit too early, so you can see here, there's 2 bolts there. You unscrew those and you can drop this plate out with the top pin hinge for the door. Okay, so what I did is I removed the black plastic off this bottom hinge part here for the door. Okay, you grab your door, bottom hinge first, bottom holes, see the hole there? Place that onto the top there, place that down, and then you come up to the top here. And then we re-add this top hinge plate with the pin to go through the top hole of the door to complete the hinge. There we go. Back onto the top of this top hinge here for the door, okay? And just tighten them up as you can. Just always finger tighten and then come back and complete the tighten with the tools, okay? So you don't bend the stainless steel and warp the door. Now before we introduce the barbecue into the cabinet, we need to put on the side shelves, okay? So in the bag, you'll get the brackets that look like this and then a bolt like that, okay? So what we do is the curved top, like that way, that's the way we go, all right? So now we're gonna place it here and then we just drop the bolts straight in and tighten that up. Okay, so we liberally just tighten this up, just lightly, once again, like we have done for all of our other screws with constructing the cabinet. So this is for the side shelf. So we get that, just try to get it reasonably straight before you tighten it fully up. It's handy with this little 10mm spanner on the other side, so you can hold that nut on the other side. You've probably seen me using this throughout the video, so I do advise that you do use it just to make it a bit easier for yourself. So then again, just for the bottom hole here, just going to do exactly the same as what we did up at the top. So that's how we attach that. This is the bracket for the side shelf for the cabinet. You got to do this before you put the barbecue in it for obvious reasons, so we can actually access the nut hole here. So this is the bracket for the side shelves. There's 1 bolt for the top and there'll be another bolt that goes straight in. Once you put the barbecue into the cabinet, that will actually help fasten it to the cabinet. So before we put the GTS barbecue into the cabinet, you need to take the drip tray out. So with these bolts here, you now bolt in the second hole underneath the shelf bracket straight into the barbecue. Now you've got it in the top of the cabinet. So we're going to add the fascia into the front of the barbecue. You just need to open up the doors and you'll see the cassette lining in here. It slides straight into there. Now we're going to attach the side shelves onto the side of the barbecue cabinet. Now that we've got the barbecue in the cabinet, so what we've done is we've put the brackets on the side and now we've just got to put the handle on the shelf. So it comes with a bolt with a split washer and a washer. You've just got to tighten these up just from the inside here. So with the side shelf, you need your little bolt with 2 washers, a split washer and just a flat straight washer. And then you insert it into the hole here. Okay, this is to make the slide down, the drop down for the side shelf. So you put on this side and then you've got your lock nut. It needs to go in under. And okay, you just tighten it just enough so it gives enough room to slide up and down. So that's what I'm going to attach right now. Washer on like that. Pop it into the hole there. Grab your split washer. Put that on there and then grab your little lock nut just here. You can tighten that up. Okay, so now we can do this. That's the drop shelf. Okay, attaching the handle to the other drop down shelf. So you got your bolt, your split washer and washer. So it's actually found in the back of the handle. So you just unscrew it, take it out and then put it into the one side of the shelf and then obviously holding the handle on the other side and just tighten that up liberally, okay? Remember, don't over tighten stainless steel because it actually buckles it after a while. And then same again the other side. Okay, with the flare guards, we've got the large ones. Okay, the large ones go first, and then we go the small ones over the burner. They just lock in just as so. This protects the fat from going into the burners and getting flare up. So you just follow it along the whole way across the barbecue. Okay, you don't have to do all the burners, okay? Mainly where the char grill is, because that protects the burners from when all the fat's coming down from the char grill as you're barbecuing. So obviously the flat plate's going to be here, so you only really need to go that far, okay? So you should have 7 in the box, okay? So that's how you load it, large, small, large, small. The flat plate, I'm gonna put it here. You put the drip hole towards the middle, obviously, so it captures down into the drip tray down the bottom here. Okay, it funnels into, and again, where the drip tray is when you open the doors and the cassette there. We'll add the grills now for the char grill. So there's a small one there and the large one there. Obviously, you can interchange and put small or large. That is up to you. And there we are. There is the GTR 5. Okay, as all of our Tucker barbecues also always come with an instruction manual that comes. This video was just to give you a bit of a visual to help you out in the construction of your Tucker barbecue. Now, happy grilling, guys.